Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Trading Room recap for Monday, March the 30th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the Trading Room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, a fabulous day actually. The market's up right now at 278, but just because the market's up, sometimes, people think, oh, well, you just have to buy anything and it'll go up. But it's not necessarily the case. I mean, sometimes, the market gaps up immediately and then you kind of sit there for a long time. You get into things and they don't move or they go down, they're retracing. So you still need an edge. And of course, shameless plug, but Trade Ideas does that for me. So let's go over some of the trades I took. Well, not some of them, the ones that I posted in the room. ADI was the first one, and ADI came from my custom setup right here, 63.53 at 9:45. So 63.53 is right in this. Well, it's right there, right below. So I ended up taking the trade right here at 63.58. I was lucky to get a good fill because sometimes, on my customs they can really run quickly, and sometimes it's very difficult for me to get a price close to where it gets triggered. But in this particular case, I was able to do that. So I took the trade at 63.58. I sold some right here at 63.90 just in case it was going to have a tough time getting through the whole number. And you see how it fell off actually, right almost back down to where I bought it, and then it came back up. Excuse me, popped through the whole number, and I was really hoping to get a dollar on this, but it didn't quite get there, and it ended up selling right here at 64.38 from 63.58. So still a nice 80 cents on a fairly stress-free trade. There's a 5-minute candles. There's not one red one until we get to this right here. This little tail was a little worrying, but other than that, it worked out really, really well. Now the next one was DYN. Same thing. Here it came from my custom. $30.06 is when I did get the alert. And this one did run really quickly. $30 is right in this area here. So you can see how it ran really quickly, and then it ran up and then came down. And I ended up taking the trade right here at 30.30 and got out some right here at 30.73 and waited quite a bit, and I was able to withstand this pullback because I'd already taken some out and was really hoping that it would pop through. It did pop through 30, or no, I guess it didn't. Let me see here. High of 30.94. Again, I was hoping it would pop through 31. Didn't quite get there and exited the trade right here, the last bit at 30.62. And you can see that it is holding pretty well here. Now, one of the reasons why I kept into this trade, you can see it's a utility, and it's not there right now. But this morning, where are the utilities? Utilities are right here, XLU. And XLU at one point was right at the top. So the utility was a strong sector, and that's why I kept in on this trade, even during some of the pullbacks and a bit of the fluctuation for it. But so it turned out to be a really nice trade. Now, G-Man, unfortunately, shook me out, which is really too bad. G-Man I got in really late. You can see it here. I mean, it had a huge pop from 651 and it got through 7. I think somebody posted in the room that, I have no idea. I have not been able to see whether or not, look at a link or anything, whether or not this is true, but somebody mentioned that, Mr. Buffett, Warren Buffett, was taking an interest in this. And so I watched this come down here to 715, and then on the pop back up, I took the trade at 734, held quite a while. And eventually, I was in a bit of a lost position here. That's right. I was remember thinking, okay, what's going to happen? And it did get up to 758. Looked like it was just going to keep running. But on this candle right here, that shook me out, and I know it shook out a few people. I was able to get out at 739 for a small gain. It went down to 729. You never know with these things. Obviously, it's had a tremendous increase, not almost 20% as we speak. But you never know. I mean, it could have just collapsed, and it's really done not too much since my exit. I mean, Would have been nice to still be in the trade, but something I'm going to watch for tomorrow. Let's just take a look at the daily chart to see what. I know I did look at it. Let's take a look at a weekly chart. See if. So yeah, look, we've got some 815. Obviously, is some resistance. So I will watch it, but there's not as much blue sky, of course, as when it was down here. But we'll have to see if certainly if it gets through 8, then we're talking 10:30. If it gets through 8 with any sort of volume tomorrow, I think that a lot of people will pile into this stock. So definitely one to watch tomorrow. Now, the really nice stock that we got into today. It looks pretty choppy here, doesn't it? But this came from the opening range breaks, and these really are working well. Now, I didn't take rare. Let's just see what rare is doing. Remember, this is the break, or the alert is at 59.13. Now, I didn't take it. 59.13. Remember that number. So, it got as high as 60, $65. Remember, from 59.13. I mean, I'm crying that I didn't take that stock. But the problem was it has 272,000 shares right now that's traded. But I mean, way back then, what am I doing? This is a weekly chart. Sorry about that. I thought there was something wrong. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it didn't get it that high. So it got up to $60, almost $61 from 59.13. Still an excellent rise, but the problem is that it was very low volume and the spread was really really bad, and I just couldn't bring myself to take it. But if you took it and you took fewer shares and were able to hold on, that would have been a great trade. MYL would have worked a little bit, wouldn't have been fantastic. 59.39 was the, at least let me I haven't looked at it for a while. MYL 59.39. So you can see that it's why am I monthly? It's the 5-minute chart, 59.39. So I mean, it got as high as 59.89. So it would have been not bad. But again, I didn't get into this. Now, one of the reasons is you see this is down for the day. I actually have to do a check with the odds maker to see whether or not the stocks that are down for the day are still like how well do they do on the opening range break. It may not make any difference at all. In the original strategy, they don't make any provision saying that the stocks have to be up for the day. But I would like to add that just to see what happens to the strategy. Does it make a big difference? Does it make any difference? Does it worsen it? So I have to check that. And with that in mind, XLNX, Xilinx. I also got an alert at 42.11 on the opening 30-minute range break. And that stock, this is where so here's 42.11 right there. So here's where I got the alert. But again, I waited just a little bit. Now it is up 70 cents as we speak, but right here it was down for the day. So, I just wanted to wait just to see if it could continue. Now pull back, which was great, and that gave me another entry. That gave me, another entry. What it did for me, it gave me the confidence. It was a second break of the whole number one. And then when it broke through the opening 30-minute range again, I decided to take the trade, and I took the trade at 42.17 right here. Got out some at 42.39. Was able to withstand this little pullback because I had already taken some profit, and then held on and was really excited. Thought maybe I'd get $1 on this, but I needed a bid of 43.17, and I don't think I got that. I know it got as high as did it get as high as 43.39? Well, up here, but that was a crazy spike. But up here, it didn't get quite the bid, and so as it was coming down, I didn't want to be stupid, and say, well, I have to wait for $1. So I exited right here at 43.07 to take 90 cents a share on this, and it's still not doing too badly, and it's hanging in. This is I don't know what this action meant really. So that was again on the opening. A 30-minute range break, which is turning into just a great confident type strategy. Now, the last one is MUSA, and I'm still in some of this. This came on the lifetime alert, and it came right. I can see this one is doing really well. Oh no, not yet. But anyway, I'm just looking at MKC here. The lifetime alert on MUSA came at 73.03. And so I waited a little bit. I wanted to see it. It was just it was holding here 73 right there. It kept holding 73. Again, on these lifetime alerts, I don't take them right away. I like to see if they're going to hold that whole number. And when the whole number was holding and it popped up, I took the trade right here at 73.19. I took some off right here at 73.77. I was again hoping that it might pop through 74 and give me that elusive $1 gain. Didn't happen, but 73.77 from 73.19 is excellent. Still in some right here. Haven't got rid of the last half, and the market has another another hour and 10 minutes left in it. So have to see what happens. So a great day. I mean, really, really a nice day, and some pretty exciting news also. Dan Merkin, our CEO, popped in. He's going to have an option strategy in the room. I think he said on Wednesday. April 1st is when the options are added. Our option filters are added back to your filters. If you're longtime Trade Ideas users, you know that we used to have option filters for put and call volumes, percentage increases on puts and calls, etc. And they were taken away maybe a couple of years ago. It was an issue with our data provider who well, it doesn't really matter why it happened, but anyway, they're coming back April 1st, and I think Dan has developed a strategy based on the options, and I think he's going to probably put it in the room on Wednesday. But the more exciting news that I think is coming down the pipe is that if you know we have our channel bar, and if you don't know about our channel bar, tools, and here is our channel bar. We have all these channels: social media, search, winners, beaten up, etc., etc. I'm not going to open them, but one of the ones that is going to be added, I think it's going to be called something like optimized strategies or something like that. And what that means is that you will see, just going to close this off and bring this back. What you're going to see is a channel that was going to say optimize strategies, and in there are all the strategies that Trade Ideas has that have been optimized using the odds maker. Like the let's see, where is it? Just one second. Like the opening range break, the 30-minute opening range break. Now you see here, I've actually taken this. The blue is the original one that Trade Ideas gave us, and this one that is in green is I took the original strategy and I have kind of further optimized it, added a few things, hold times, stops, and things like that. And I added and it has been further optimized. My point is that what I think is going to happen is that Trade Ideas will have these strategies. They will optimize them every day. They will check them every single day to make sure that they're still look like they're working. And so now you'll have a channel that will have optimized up-to-date strategies. And in my opinion, it's gold because I'm now getting so comfortable with this strategy. I'm not saying that I just take it immediately. Look, I'm on the Xilinx. I waited for a little bit, but they're just turning into these sensational strategies and strategy. And so if you have three or four like that a day, because this only triggered. I think three stocks. I don't count the ETF here, so it only triggered three stocks. But if you have three or four strategies and they're all triggering maybe three or four stocks a day, that means you're going to have 10 or 12 strategies that you can pick from or alerts that you can pick from every single day, and if you can trust them, then it takes all the emotion out of trading. So I think it's going to be really, really exciting to be a Trade Idea subscriber. And if you're not a Trade Idea subscriber right now, I sincerely think that you should go to our homepage, check out the rates and all that, because I think great things are really coming. This to me is probably the most exciting thing that Trade Ideas can do, because let's face it, we have a lot of alerts, we have a lot of filters, but it's difficult for a lot of people to put them together to figure out a strategy that works. And if Trade Ideas can go to the trouble and create the strategies for you, and you get the confidence that they're going to work. Look, not every alert is going to work. No sane person can think that. But if you get the odds on your side that the majority of time they work and give you a good return, that's priceless. It's just priceless. And if they're optimized for different market conditions and different types of strategies, then I mean, it's just going to be a fantastic deal. So I've rambled on enough. Let me just bring back the cover page. Again, here's how to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account, and we'll see you tomorrow in the trading room.